Hello.
So, Mr. Secretary General, I will start with your permission. First of all, let me tell you how honored we are to host you here in my country. I mean, it has been a very productive meeting. It has been a very constructive and friendly ambience and atmosphere there. I think we had very good bilateral discussion. I think we've been hearing very well what NATO representatives were telling us. We also heard their praise for our reform, but also we know that we have to do homework and proceed with further changes. Certainly, you have already had the opportunity to interact with the local and international press. I think we'll have this chance again. You know, this is an important stage forward. We all the time hope that with NATO we can have further and further steps, further and further movements, deeper and deeper integration. Last time around when your predecessor came here, before it was 2007, I think, and I wear a tie that he brought me, a NATO tie. I'm wearing it now. I was hoping you would bring me at least a jacket, NATO jacket, so that I would not stay out, we would not stay out in the cold without NATO jacket. We are still not asking for NATO umbrella though, but jacket would do this time. But in all seriousness, we really are excited that there is some progress, and I think you have a very good representative for the region, James Apatura. He's doing a magnificent job. We are very grateful to him for that. And you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for these kind words. It is indeed a great pleasure to visit Georgia again, this time with the NATO Council. I have visited Georgia on several occasions, but this is my first visit to Batumi, and we enjoy very much to be here, and this afternoon we have had a very fruitful exchange of views. It is almost 8 years since the Rose Revolution. In that time, a new and better Georgia has taken root, one built on freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. You have made impressive progress in areas such as freedom of speech, democratic development, and fighting corruption. Those are achievements you are justly proud of. In those 8 years, Georgia has also become a valuable contributor to peace and stability beyond its borders. In Afghanistan, you are already the second largest non-NATO contributor to our ISAF mission. By this time, next year, you will be the largest. Your commitment is without caveats and without constraints, making the Georgian presence even more valuable for our commanders. You are a model member of ISAF, and I thank you for it. I also welcome your pledge not to use force in the dispute over the Georgian territories of Abkhazia and South Ossetia. NATO's position is firm and clear. Those areas are part of Georgia, and they remain part of Georgia. But we also see that the only way to resolve this conflict is through dialogue, not confrontation. Georgia has come a long way in the past 8 years, but there is still some way to go. In particular, to perfect your electoral reforms. That means having an electoral code which guarantees fair treatment for all candidates and all voters. It means creating a political culture which respects and tolerates minority views, and it means guaranteeing freedom of expression, freedom of the media, and freedom of the judiciary. At our Bucharest summit in 2008, we said that Georgia will become a member of NATO. I supported that decision then, and I support it now. That decision stands. And as you progress on reforms, you also progress on your path to NATO membership. And you have progressed significantly since NATO in 2008 decided that Georgia will become a member of this alliance. You are closer than 3 years ago, thanks to these reforms. But we all know that to walk on the road to membership, it takes commitment and it takes determination to press on with the reforms. But the road is worth taking, and every step of the way, NATO is there to support you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to welcome you. Eka Soselia, TV company Imedi. I have a question to the Georgian president. Despite the fact that North Atlantic Council is now in Georgia, right, official visit, and there is a meeting in Tbilisi, there is still an opinion that Russia, which is not yet a member of the alliance, still uses the right to veto Georgia's membership decision. How can we solve this problem with regard to this blockade? I think that yesterday, Secretary General already clearly answered this question. I'm not going to speak in detail about it. The Secretary General said that no country has the right to veto this decision. And those people who do not have their own political platform, those people who have that nothing matters at all, they can support these ideas. There are people who say that no reforms, no progress matter at all, and some people think that in the long run there will be nothing, but this will never happen in our history. Georgia has never been close to NATO as it is today. Georgia is really very close to its dream to be materialized. It means that we will get back to the European fold, and we are coming closer to a stronger family, and we will be there as an independent state, not as a state subordinated to somebody else. And of course, the closer we are with our aim and objective, then of course, the greater will be possibility to say that we are tired, it all makes no sense, and our fate will be decided by some other people who really don't wish good for Georgia. But I think that the principle of NATO is about the fact that every democratic state has the right of free choice, and you heard Secretary General's statement. Every country has the right to make its choice, and our people, our nation made the choice irrespective of the weather forecast or irrespective of the prices changing for gas or fuel. Most important is the will of our people, and this will is strong. Welcome you, public broadcaster of Georgia, Nino Gomartelli. We have a question to both representatives. But first of all, we ask you, Mr. Secretary General, Georgia's integration to North Atlantic Alliance. We want to know what is the position among the alliance members with regard to Georgia's integration into the alliance.
The position is very clear. It was stated already in 2008 at the NATO summit in Bucharest. And as you will recall, we decided 3 years ago in Bucharest that Georgia will become a member of NATO. On top of that, we have established a special commission, a NATO-Georgia commission, which serves as a framework for political consultation and practical cooperation. And our visit to Georgia is an example of high-level political consultations within the framework of a NATO-Georgia Commission. Each and every year, Georgia produces an annual national program. It's assessed by NATO, the NATO Council, every year, and that annual program creates a framework for the reform process in Georgia. So our position remains the same. Our door remains open. The Bucharest decision stands. Georgia will become a member of NATO.
Nado Mahouladze will start to Mr. President, as we know, the agreement has been signed and this agreement was drafted by Swiss party. This is about membership to WTO. On the other hand, on your personal webpage, there is an information that you had a conversation with Joe Biden. We want to share more details about it. With regard to my conversation with the Vice President Biden, this information was placed by the White House. And you will get about it, more information. But let's speak about the process, and this process in general is more important. And this contract, this paper is more important than any other events we saw recently. From the diplomatic standpoint, why it is so important? For the first time after independence was declared by Georgia in the early 90s, after the conflict emerged in our country, you know that these conflicts emerged after the independence. There were forces who did not want to see Georgia independent, and at the borders of Georgia, there will be monitoring on transportation of international cargoes, and this is an international monitoring on recognized international borders of Georgia, and this is a diplomatic victory of Georgia. Of course, it is a clear demonstration and proof of the fact that if we hold a very principled and strong position, and by the way, many people in Moscow and even in international community thought that we would unconditionally accept everything, let's accept any terms we are offered, and it is in the interest of everybody to see Russia as member of WTO. By the way, Russian membership is in the interest of everybody, including Georgia's. And some people said, let's give them membership and then discuss everything. But our position was clear from the very beginning. We understand what are the pragmatic interests of our friends, but it is a matter of fundamental principle for Georgia. This is a matter of Georgia's existence. Our borders, our boundaries are
ჩვენი დიპლომატები მუშაობდნენ მეორე მხარესთან, რომელიც არის 1000 ჯერ უფრო გამოცდილი.
Which is quite experienced in using different tricks and diplomatic tools that can use different leverages. But we did not give up at least 1 gram of something. Compromise is very good in diplomacy, but there are things you can never make compromise for. And by the way, we respect main principles. This is a matter of our borders, and there is common regime inside Georgia, and everything will be implemented by international observers. And by the way, there will be a company conducting monitoring, and the members of the company will be foreigners, not Russian citizens, and everything will be supervised and controlled by the Swiss side. And we speak about the international agreement, international activity, and international law is the main instrument for protection of small countries. And what is the major achievement which has never been discussed recently? During these last few months, none of Russia's official representatives, by the way, they can be angry, but they can drink cold water to cool down. None of them have ever remembered South Ossetia and Abkhazia as independent states. None of the Russian officials have ever
discuss anything with Sukhumi representatives, and there is no illusion about who is governing or ruling Zimbabwe. And when Russia wants something, when Russia needs something, it easily forgets all those fake symbols it has created on its own, and Russia can really negotiate very well with somebody if it is in its interest. And this is particularly seen when the international community is consolidated. So, once again, I want to say that it was not easy. There were different talks. Some said that we should not procrastinate this process. Let's agree on everything, but nonetheless, we სამშობლოს ორგანიზაცია ჩვენ პოლიტიკურ და ტერიტორიულ საკითხებს რა თქმა უნდა ვერ გადაგვიწყოთ ეს არ არის ეს არის სუფთა ტექნიკური სავაჭრო რეჟიმების დამყარებული ორგანიზაცია ამ ფარგლებში რაც შეგვიძლია ყველაფერი მივიღეთ იქაც ყველაფერს მივიღეთ ასე გავაგზავნეთ მაგრამ ასე დიპლომატიური დიალოგი სანამ სანამ ჩვენი მესაზღვრეები ჩვენი მებაჟეები ჩვენი საერთოდ ხალხი არ დაბრუნება სახში ჩვენი მებაჟეები აქედან ცოტა უფრო ჩრდილოეთით სოულზე და აქედან ცოტა უფრო ჩრდილო-აღმოსავლეთით ეს არის ჩვენი საბოლოო მიზანი და ამას ჩვენ არ ვცვალავთ და ამას ვერაფერი ვერ შეაჩერებს როცა ყველას პასუხისმგებელი მეთამაშე მსოფლიოში აღიარებს ჩვენ ამის უფლებობას ჩვენ უფლებას ამას ჭირდება ძალიან
Разрешите спросить, Анастасия Ханякина, телеканал ПИК. Меня интересует, обсуждали ли вы вопрос вот следующего саммита в Бухаре? Да, в Чикаго, Чикагский саммит весной 2012. Будет ли вопрос Грузии подниматься на этом саммите?
Yes, we have discussed the upcoming NATO summit in Chicago. You can also see our visit to Georgia as part of the preparations for the Chicago summit. We have not finalized preparations. There's still 6 months to go. Many things can happen. We have not finalized the program. So no decision has been made yet. But as usual, NATO allies will address Georgia at the summit. The question is how, and we have discussed this today. We will continue our dialogue in the run-up to the summit in Chicago. I hope to see language, texts from the Chicago summit that reflects the progress we have seen in reforms in Georgia, the progress we have seen in our relationship since we last met in Lisbon a year ago. So the answer is yes, we have discussed it, and we will continue our dialogue until May, when next summit will be held in Chicago.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.